Hello, this is Jerry Jones. My podcast will consist of the preview of the Wilder versus Fury Part 3. But before I get to that, I have to highlight the first two fights. So, as we all know, in the first fight, in my opinion, I feel like Tyson won every round except for the rounds he got knocked down in. Because as we all know, Tyson Fury is 6'9", so he's taller than most boxers, most of his opponents. He just towers over everyone, and he's probably the best defensive fighter in his division. So that just makes it a plus. It's gonna be hard to hit somebody who's 6'9", that could duck and dodge everything you do. Because most fighters, like I say, he's taught to everyone. So like I say, yeah, he was beating him every round except for the round he got knocked down in. So they had to make a rematch for that. Then after that fight, after those fights, time and time again, they had a market for the second fight. So they both were going against top-notch opponents in the heavyweight division. As you know, Deontay Wilder is probably the greatest puncher of all time, or if not the greatest puncher, he's definitely the greatest puncher since Mike Tyson. As we before coming into the second fight, Deontay Wilder had a 95% knockout ratio. So most of the fights he fought, he was knocking out everyone, except for Tyson Fury. And one time, I think against Bermane Silverstein, the fight went tied. But besides that, he knocked out every opponent that he's faced. So, but back to that one, after marketing each other fight, they fought again. That fight was just entertaining. I like that fight. That's one of my most favorite fights. But anyway, in that fight, Tyson Fury proved that he was just too much for Deontay Wilder. The whole fight, he just dominated Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder couldn't get that right punch that most of the time he always gets against every opponent he faces too. I feel like Tyson Fury was just too technical on him, and he also knocked him down 2 times. But I feel like he just got dominated against that fight. But now, Deontay Wilder will be exercising his rematch clause in the third. So they will be fighting a third time. They will have a trilogy in that fight. And what I think was going to happen in the third fight, I think Tyson Fury will probably dominate Deontay Wilder like he did in the second fight. Because he's just a far better fighter, obviously, that we've seen in the past. Deontay Wilder is really not a defensive fighter. He relies on the knockout. Basically all his fights, if Deontay Wilder don't get that knockout, he's most likely not going to win a fight if he's not getting the knockdown. And I feel like Tyson Fury just got in his head, because as we know, I have not seen, ever since that fight, I have not seen Deontay Wilder. It's like he's been hiding. Basically, he's been hiding. So really, something inside me is saying that Deontay Wilder is probably scared of Tyson Fury. He probably knows that he can't beat him, even though he had to exercise that rematch clause. Because if he didn't exercise that rematch clause immediately, people will look at him and be like, "Whoa, you're really scared of the guy." But I just feel like Tyson Fury just got better since the first fight, and he proved that in the second fight, and when he just dominated Deontay Wilder in that fight. But I'm really looking forward to the third fight. I hope it's just as entertaining as the first 2 fights. I hope Deontay Wilder could find something inside of him, could find or get a new strategy since that last fight, because he got beat. He got beat the second fight. I just hope he get back on his feet and make the fight as entertaining as possible.